कैंडिड इंटरफेस को स्वागत। आज आम गणर अच्छा मिस्टर अभिषेक द्विवेदी सी हेले जड़े कंसल्टेंट एक्वाकल्चर आज टॉपिक बहुत सुंदर प्रमोटिंग एक्वाकल्चर इन ओडिशा। प्रथम प्रश्न है हाउ हैज बीन योर अर्ली लाइफ लाइक योर स्कूल योर कॉलेज योर विलेज योर टाउन। आई एम श्योर आवर ऑडियंस विल फील वेरी हैप्पी लिसनिंग टू यू अबाउट योर अर्ली लाइफ।
बंधुगण नमस्कार। I would really like to get this opportunity on behalf of entire aquaculture fraternity to speak in front of you, and thanks to MBCTv for giving me a space in this candid interface. It has been an overwhelming opportunity. As sir said, the early stages of my life didn't even get a glimpse of what is agriculture, what is aquaculture, what is poultry, and what is agri-allied subjects. When I was a child, running to school, pushing back into school, there were two terminologies that decided the entire educational path of a children or of a student. That was either you go to medical, you serve the purpose of the people, or get a lucrative position in engineering, or go to NDA, serve the nation. So these were the prominent three sectors in which parents were consistently pushing their child, and this was a beacon of understanding in which they were propagating their children's mindset up to develop a career and make a human out of a child. So this was what the opportunity is. When I gradually begin my understanding and there was a leniency approach, I leaned into a sector visualizing agrarian economy. Our country India is an agrarian economy. The entire backbone lies with fishing, rearing goats and milk. So the entire scheme of things revolves under the food revolution, what we call as also green revolution, that has happened few decades back, 4 or 5 decades back. So in my gradual days, I had no plans. But growing up as a child, going to village in summers, during summer vacation, the agrarian phase, the farmer's phase, was a very interesting phase of my life. And as an attribute of understanding that, I really tried to grasp their knowledge, make it as a learning curve, and what can be more done to the sector in case of innovating it, in case of inspiring it, and implementing it in the field.
Now you went deep into it, you know, and you tried to make a sort of an analysis as to what should be done so that you will be able to promote, you know, this sector in a big way.
The entry of correct, sir. The entry of technologies and the adaptation of technologies by the farming community is something which I wanted to propagate as a whole, and started my career also on that regard. And it has been a overwhelming joy. Last 12 years have been extremely joyful, and the advent of technology, the entire technological developments, and all what you can say the farmers' progress and the country's progress and the state's progress has been all dependent on the technology adoption. One, we are leading in the forefront of it, and few days back our honorable Prime Minister also said that now India is going to implement artificial intelligence as an integral module for developing the farming communities.
Absolutely. Now what I would like to ask you is, we understand other than your evincing interest in aquaculture, you are also a very, I would say, effective social activist. So what has been your activities and support system for the past few years, which I will be happy to listen from you?
Recently, India faced its worst pandemic, the COVID pandemic, which we all are aware of. We lost our near and dear ones. The grim scenario that everything can change in a short time frame, we did understand. We lost millions of people. We succumbed to the entire global pressure of the pandemic. It wiped out the entire economical backbone of our country. The only thing, the proud persons who stood out were the farmers. They, even after losing their ones, they went onto the field the next morning to get the crop for us, so that we can get the food for the future. So in the pandemic, I learned that social activity is something that needs to develop simultaneously along with your subject matter expertise, along with your career, whatever in which sphere you may be. There is no alternative of doing social work. It is like a same part of the one coin, other part of the same coin. So it needs to be depicted and it needs to be propagated further. So it was a very good moment for me to help my farmer communities, to be with them in the pandemic, to serve them and to get them into a, because they were completely out.
You are motivating them to the extent possible,
Yeah.
so that they give their best, and at the same time, I would say people at large will also be benefited, because unless they go to the fields, how do we get our food, as you very rightly said.
Yeah. Sir, actually the right information at that point of pandemic is very important.
Was very vital.
Yeah, the right information should be spread at the right time from the right source. That's the key and cornerstone of aborting a pandemic.
Right.
And as a aquaculturist, I never succumbed to any pressure. I went onto the fields and I went to I gave the farmers the masks, the hand sanitizer, whatever support. I touched upon around 5,000 aquaculture farmers in my coastal area. So the best possible method of social work is to go with them, sit with them, explain them about the difficulty of the situation, and let us be together and come out of it. A simple fundamental I just adopted and went ahead.
Wonderful. Now, we are discussing about aquaculture and how to promote aquaculture in the state of Odisha. Now, for the common man, for the layman, how would you make him understand actually what really aquaculture means in very simple language?
Yeah, sure, sir. Sir, entire India, entire globe revolves around the thought how to feed the millions in the future. In that context, there is one prominent word which is a buzzword, as you can say. It's trending everywhere, that is agriculture. Agriculture means to culture the land for the betterment of the society. But a blue revolution, or with global climatic conditions and global warming slowly and steadily crippling the effect of El Ninos and other climatic hazards, aquaculture has been a buzzword since last 1 decade. So in my sense, in my understanding, aquaculture in a one line can be defined as the culture of water. Water needs to be cultured in adherence or with presence of soil, with relative adoption of some technologies in which we can
take the full advantage. Yeah,
yes.
Full advantage.
We can take full advantage. We can do fish farming in a limited condition way, and more importantly in a sustainable way.
Sustainable and in a very cost effective way.
Cost effective manner.
Yeah,
correct.
that's very important also. What we understand, India is among the largest, coastal, nations in the world. That's what we understand. What you have to say on that?
Actually, sir, India is one of the prominent exporters of seafood. We serve the plates of the entire community through seafood, our quality seafood, our marine resources, our seafood culture products, our sea tiger, black tiger, our venamai, our fish species, our diversified products of chilica, all our saltwater products, our brackish water products, our marine sources are a rich source of protein, and effectively we provide, I can proudly say, we are the protein provider to the rest of the world. And India being a prominent nation in developing the cost effectiveness protein, because as you say, the demand for the protein in children, adult or the senior citizens is of prominence, is of high demand.
Right.
And fisheries as a product serves the purpose.
Wonderful. Now, we were talking in a different level altogether, in the world level or in the global level. Then when we come to the state level, compared to other states, in the country, how does, Odisha stand in the area of aquaculture?
Sir, if we divide aquaculture prominently is of 3 types: freshwater aquaculture, brackish water aquaculture, and marine culture. Marine we don't do culture, whatever comes from the trawlers of our marine fishermen, we intake as that in our plates. So, in the context of India, Odisha leads this show. After Andhra Pradesh, Odisha is the most prominent player in terms of aquaculture. It's the second largest state in India. Odisha has become a now the land of Jagannath, as we can say, is very proud to establish itself as a bigger player. You must be terribly surprised. We have a coastline of 465 square kilometer, which is massive, more than that of Sri Lanka, as I can say, because we are entirely surrounded by Bay of Bengal. So our coastline is very big, and we have massive opportunity to harness this potential. We have only tapped around 10 or 15% of our potential, and with key players, key corporate players, key government incentives, we can go ahead and scale this production to feed the millions of the future.
Okay, fine. In the vicinity, of Bhubaneswar, we find CIFA, Central. I would like to say Central, Institute of Fish Aquaculture, and at the same time also we have OUAT in Bhubaneswar. Two very massive, institutes which are focusing also in aquaculture are also there. Could you just very briefly, say the objectives of both the institutes?
As a proud alumnus of Odisha University of Agriculture and Technology, I would gladly say that our principal secretary also belongs to the same fraternity, OUT. He is alumnus of OUT. So OUT has its own brand in India and internationally and globally. We have been producing many huge resources, quality resources that have served the agrarian infrastructure, that have held few important government positions, few political positions. So we have been a strong organization in terms of shaping up future minds career. OUT caters to the needs of giving technical knowledge regarding agriculture, fisheries, livestock, and agribusiness management. Recently added. So OUT has a dearth of quality people. They are training them, they are guiding them, they are giving them exposure.
They give expert advice. Yeah, right.
They give them expert advice. Ample exposure is also given for the students who will be the torchbearer of the further society, agrarian society.
And when we come to CIFA, what do you feel is their prime objectives?
Before coming to CIFA, I would say that the apex agricultural body or aquacultural body, whatever you say, agri-allied body, is ICAR, Indian Council of Agricultural Research. CIFA is an institute which operates under the aegis of ICAR. So CIFA has been a prominent player in shaping of the freshwater aquaculture anatomy and conditions of the farmers. So CIFA promotes freshwater aquaculture. So freshwater aquaculture consists of rohu, mrigal, and katla. The IMCs, we largely call them an Indian major carbs.
Right.
So these are in our table on every day.
Right.
So these products are shaped by CIFA, how to optimize the production in a sustainable way, how to, since we are entering into a culture where we do fish farming, there is high possibility of diseases. CIFA has been a very good institution in mitigating that, and they have been doing it in a very good way. They
do it very meticulously.
Yeah. The approach is 100% scientific, adapted to recent blends of technology also.
Okay, wonderful. Now when we come to sustainable future, sustainable development, what's your viewpoint on how aquaculture can come to our fore, and we can discuss on that and see how it would help our future?
Sir, the global aquaculture economy, I would like to say to my audience and to you in clarity that it is a $8 billion USD industry, sir. So see, the scale at which aquaculture operates is huge and massive. In 1 acre of fish farm, 12 persons gets employment, sir. 1 acre. So employment, food technology adoption, and finally the production of food. What we say is most important, and a sustainable business in the forefront.
Right.
That is a win-win situation for all, sir.
So for all of us.
Yes.
For all of us. And what initiatives you have in mind which we can adopt so that it will help our sustainable future?
The key ingredient of fish is also fish food. To provide fish with its own fish food, the feed plays a vital component. So research are going with big corporates, big government agencies, central apex research institutions. They are planning to develop the sustainable feed to minimize the cost of soya, edible proteins, so that this feed can be a feed for the future, and we can prolong our generations.
So it
to have a
contributes to sustainable development.
Yes.
In leaps and bounds,
Yes.
absolutely. Should
Because
be-
as per the policy of United Nations Sustainable Development Goals,
Yeah.
fisheries plays a major
Yeah.
role in
Yeah.
mitigating poverty,
Yeah.
in addressing food shortage.
Right, right. Yeah, it does have a pivotal role. I fully agree with you. Now, I understand that you conduct programs for rural women in the area of skill development. Could you just dilate on that?
In my previous activities as a aquaculturist, I have been honored to work with quality watershed SHGs, self-help groups who work in the watersheds development. And if you talk about water, aquaculture is something that comes automatically.
Right.
You have to don't discuss about it. If water is involved, aquaculture is involved.
Is involved, right.
So,
right.
the prominence of women in doing aquaculture, in shaping the quality of the products, in doing quality farming is paramount, because as you know, what women do, they do with conviction, they do with certain amount of quality, they do with certain amount of
Yeah, they have both tenacity and
Yes.
perseverance, both are there, in them.
high level of perseverance,
Yeah,
as you can say.
lot of perseverance and also, tenacity.
Tenacity
So,
is there.
Yeah, I fully agree with what you say. Now, I would like to ask you one little question, which I'm sure you'll love it, and that question is, what you are today, who has been your inspiration? Your parents, your teachers, your school, your friends, your relations, who have been your, inspiration to what you are today? Who has contributed to what you are today?
Sir, as a butterfly comes out of the cocoon and it spreads its wings to fly over the world, capture the world, engulf it under its spirit. Like I was a children, I was a student, I was in university at my graduation level and post-graduation level, entirely we were on our cocoons. But someone I deeply followed who has inspired me to scale up and spread my wings to the entire canopy of the entire ecosystem, large ecosystem in which I operate, is my father, whom I look up to.
Wonderful.
Because with limited resource, with limited people backing him up, he has given me a propulsion, he has given me an opportunity to sit where I am now. So,
Mostly he has been your motivating factor.
he has
mostly.
been a pivotal role. He has played a pivotal role.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. Very good. Wonderful.
He has reshaped me as a human being.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Great. Great. Now I would like to ask you, you have done a lot of value addition programs, for the farmers, for the entrepreneurs at large. Could you just tell a bit on that?
Yeah. Sir, if I say 1 kg of a broiler or 1 kg of a fish which has not been cooked is 200 rupees. But the same thing which has been cooked, served at your plate, is 1 plate is 600 rupees. So, the value of a product or a commodity is directly comes if value addition is there. So, India as a country is doing raw products and we are doing more economical scale up. We are
Right.
doing turnover.
Right.
But as I can say to my viewers and to you, turnover is vanity, but profit is sanity. So, we must adapt to this understanding and situation, and we must scale up our operations, and we must do value addition of our crops, what we produce, either it may be a fish or a prawn,
Right.
whatever we may do, we should teach the farming community, the processing community, the exporters, whoever are there, value addition is a paramount thing, of paramount importance, and it is a non-negotiable going ahead, and skill development is attached to it. India as a nation must adopt value addition and to compete with other powerful nations like United States, who is a bigger consumer, China, who is a bigger trade.
Absolutely.
So we must engulf our thoughts and processes in doing value addition products.
Now, as you have very rightly said, Odisha is doing fine in the area of agriculture, but still we would like to bring it into an optimum level, like what, because there is still ample opportunity and potential in Odisha. How to scale it up? What's your opinion on that?
In terms of scaling our productions up, the community in which we are operating, the community has a whole must adapt to certain different level of activities, like integrating their produce. The approach must be aggregating their produce, then market linkage, then advisory services. These three pioneer and pillars should be attached to each other. These will scale up the productions.
Right.
These will get our will earn good revenues.
Right.
We will do profitability at scale, not profitability at a minuscule level. We will do profitability at a scale. So development of farmer producer organizations is something the government must look ahead in cohesion with NABARD, apex institutes like NABARD.
Right.
The farmer producer organizations are the lighthouse in which we can nurture ourselves and our farming community.
Great. Now what I would like to ask you is, as you know, earlier people used to tell Odisha is poor and all, but now what we understand, Odisha is definitely, getting developed day by day and more vibrant. But in your opinion, what could be 3 more prime initiatives from the side of the government to give further boost to development and vibrancy?
Sir, as Winston Churchill said, vibrancy is not inside us. Vibrancy is inside the community in which we are a part of it.
Absolutely.
So, cohesion and understanding the vibrancy part definitely comes with adaptation of technologies at the right time, embracing the technologies, taking the production to a next level and making Odisha, as you said, going above the threshold, achieving the optimum.
Yeah, right.
It should be the trend set, and Odisha as a front runner would be leading the show going ahead. So my 3 as you can say, my 3 core understanding in which Odisha can strive ahead.
Yeah, three initiatives.
3 initiatives is to form collectives. The first is to form a farmer producer community. Second is to adopt digital intervention, mobile technology in terms of AIs. We are in the now we are in the sector where artificial intelligence is paramount.
So plays a major role.
Yeah. So we have to use the artificial intelligence to propagate our ideas further and to mitigate the costs, and innovative ideas should be shaped up and reducing the quality in terms of paying higher to a other segment person.
Right.
That we should do.
Right.
The third most important thing is that India or Odisha should approach itself as a direct exporting destination to all quality products, marine products, seafood products, because as you know, seafood products is used in different activities. Seafood products, aquaculture products are used for direct consumption. It is used in healthcare because the fish oil is something that saves our heart. So fish is something that is of paramount importance. It is it forms the negligible amount, and if a poor man's meal, fish is something that a poor man can also afford.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So going forward, the fisheries diversification of species must be there to mitigate one species, one disease, one crisis. So that is what I suggest.
What do you think? Marketing needs more of effort in delivering goods. As you rightly said, our exports should also improve. In this sense, if you are able to categorize our marketing segments in the right perspective, I think our exports should also improve, and what we also have in Odisha we can also distribute in the right frame also in the different parts of the country. So marketing needs a bit of a more stress. What's your opinion on that?
As India's export marketing lies under the ambit of Trade Promotion Council of India, Federation of Indian Exports and Imports. So all these apex institutions must come together.
Yeah.
They must nurture the trade builders who are doing exports, and these councils should directly create avenues, newer marketing avenues, not only to the same importing nations we have been doing since last 4 or 5 decades, but to entertain newer markets.
Right, right.
To teach, India must be like a place where knowledge and wisdom along with business should be going together.
Right, right.
We must make the world understand and embrace aquaculture products, our own aquaculture products from our great Chilika Lake and other areas, and our culture areas and our wonderful farmers to embrace the products, and these products, these diversified products should be in the plate of 50 more nations rather than in some 5 or 6 nations.
Absolutely, yeah. There should be that spread, that's very important, I fully agree with you, because circulation is very important in that way. Now one little thing I would like to ask you, even though you are pretty young now, but definitely every human being, they have a agenda in mind. I'll be this, I'll do this and all. Okay, you have already spent about 12 to 13 years of your career, in different forays. Okay, and you have really worked hard in that area. But as of now, what's your dream that you would like to make it realize, if not immediately, maybe little later, and to realize that dream, what are your plans and programs so that you meet your unfinished agenda?
I see aquaculture business spectrum as a circular business model.
Okay.
I want to build my own going forward in the next 5 or 10 years. I want to build a aquaculture circular model business where the students get to embrace from the beginning of their academics to end of their career. They begin to have a circular model of understanding of doing what they want to do by learning with practical knowledge, with theoretical knowledge.
Wonderful.
A mix of theoretical knowledge is practical knowledge is what I want to substitute, and knowledge is like inevitable for everything what we approach.
Absolutely.
So I want to build a training center of a world-class society.
Oh, that's
global world-class society.
That's great.
So
that will be a big contribution to the state of Odisha from your side. Now, I would request you to give a one-liner which will be an inspiring message to our audience, particularly the young, a one-line message.
The young audience, whoever are trying to venture into food business or into aquaculture business or into marine products business, I would like to give you a one-liner. If you really want to make things big in your career, you jump into aquaculture, have a deep splash into water and get out of it through a big way, because the future of food is aquaculture and the biggest blue revolution is yet to arrive, and India will be and Odisha will be a pioneer in it.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Mr. Abhishek Dwivedy. We definitely had a very nice interface, and I am sure our viewers must have really enjoyed it. Thank you so much. Dhanyavad.